Imagine the heat of Thailand in the late 80s. A 13-year-old boy named Yahshao is climbing a water tower in Ban Vinayai. Then, a slip. A long, terrifying fall. For 30 minutes, the world goes dark. He isn't just unconscious, he's dead.
It's the kind of trauma that should leave a person broken. But for Yahshao, it was a rebirth. He describes it as losing his human memory, but gaining a cosmic one. He started having these intense flashbacks, feeling like he had lived through different timelines or layers of existence.
Wait, 30 minutes? Eleanor, medically speaking, that's an eternity. Most people don't come back from that without massive neurological damage. But Yahshao claims he didn't just survive, he brought something back with him. Something he calls the power of God.
That's exactly where our story begins today. We're diving into the extraordinary claims of a man who says he's an 8-billion-year-old soul living in a modern body. He doesn't just watch superheroes on screen. He believes he embodies a power that makes Superman look like a mere actor.
It's a fascinating perspective, Ariel. He talks about this God energy as something that acts on his behalf. He doesn't have to fight or fly. The energy itself judges the people he encounters based on their thoughts and their vibrations.
That's the part that gets me. He says if someone meets him with negative thoughts, they are automatically judged. Sickness, strokes, business fires, even death. It sounds less like a gift and more like a spiritual minefield for anyone standing near him.
He admits that he often stays home because of it. He doesn't go hunting or fishing or play sports. He feels like a vessel that can't just go anywhere because his presence has such heavy consequences for those who aren't holy.
He uses the word holy very specifically. To him, it's not just about religious rituals. It's about keeping your hands clean and your thought vibrations pure. It's a state of being that protects you from the very judgment his energy emits.
But isn't that a bit convenient, Eleanor? If you have a problem with me, it's because your vibration is wrong. It puts all the responsibility on the other person. If his friend's store burns down after a meeting, is that really divine justice or just a series of tragic coincidences?
Yahshao would say there are no coincidences. He tells a story about his divorce that really highlights this. He spent 15 years with his wife, and then, overnight, everything changed. He ended up with someone else's wife, and the legal battle that followed was, well, it was unconventional.
He refused to hire a lawyer, Dan. His ex-wife had too. She had restraining orders and a complex case regarding their children. But Yahshao walked into that courtroom alone, claiming that God would do all the action through frequency.
And he won. He says he won 100%. But think about the lawyers on the other side. He claims that later on, those lawyers were sued by other clients and lost their businesses. It's like he's suggesting his win wasn't just in the courtroom, but in the karmic balance of their lives.
A pastor even approached him about it, shocked that he won a child sport case without legal representation. Yahshao's response was simple. It wasn't me, it was all done from above. He even bet his co-workers a free lunch on the outcome, knowing the frequency was in his favor.
There's a certain confidence there that transcends normal human ego. He doesn't seem to be bragging so much as observing. He sees himself as a witness to the universe's mechanics. If the universe wants him to win, the paperwork is just a formality.
I struggle with the witness part, though. When he visited that 65-year-old pastor who had no children, Yahshao told him his soul wasn't holy enough to let a child through his spiritual door. 2 months later, that pastor was dead. That feels incredibly harsh.
Yahshao's take on that death was that God saved the pastor from falling from his place in heaven. He sees death not as a punishment, but sometimes as a confirmation or a protection. It's a very different lens than the one we usually use to view tragedy.
It's an ancient perspective, really. The idea that the physical life is just a brief flicker compared to the 8 billion year journey of the soul. In that time frame, a stroke or a business failure is just a momentary recalibration of energy.
But what about the guy on Pal Talk? You remember that part of the story? Yahshao is in a chat room and a man starts talking trash about Yahshao's wife. Yahshao just tells him, let the truth be the witness. 2 years later, the man dies of cancer.
It's a recurring theme. Whether it's a churchman trying to date his wife, or a business friend who can't sleep because of allergies, Yahshao reads their vibrations. He claimed the businessman's allergies were actually a broken heart because he was missing someone other than his wife.
He's suggesting that our physical ailments are direct manifestations of our spiritual dishonesty. If you're a Christian going to church but you're still sick, he says it's because church can't heal a soul that isn't living a holy life. It's a call for total internal transparency.
I'll play devil's advocate again. If I'm a good person and I get a cold, does that mean my vibration is off? It feels like this philosophy could lead to a lot of victim blaming. Oh, your car broke down. You must not be doing holy things.
Actually, Dan, he mentions exactly that. He went fishing with his siblings, and they caught nothing. On the way back, the car kept dying. His intuition told him the car was reacting to being used for unnecessary duty. He literally says even a car needs to do holy things.
It sounds like animism, doesn't it? The idea that everything, even a vehicle, is part of this grand energetic web. If the intent of the trip isn't aligned with the God energy, the physical world starts to friction against you.
So, if I'm driving to get a burger and my engine stalls, is the universe telling me to eat a salad? It's a lot to carry, Ariel, living every second wondering if your thoughts are going to trigger a cosmic shutdown of your electronics.
But Yahshao sees it as the ultimate freedom. He says, imagine you can have anything you want. He believes that by aligning with this frequency, you become untouchable. No hand can touch you, and the universe protects you like a child of God.
He's essentially inviting everyone to claim their power back. He calls himself Yahshao, but he says we are all gods and kings in our own right. The fall in Thailand wasn't just his accident, it was his awakening to a reality he thinks we all have access to.
It's a bold claim. He's asking people to look at their pain, their gossip, their negative thoughts, and ask for forgiveness, even from him specifically, to clear their energy. It's a very personal form of spiritual intervention.
He emphasizes that he doesn't judge anyone personally. He says, I love everyone. It's the energy itself that does the fixing. He views himself as a bystander to the power that flows through him. Like a wire doesn't judge the electricity, it just carries it.
And that's the crux of his message, isn't it? We are all wires. The question is, what kind of current are we allowing to flow? Are we carrying the God energy, or are we clogged with negativity that causes our own lives to short circuit?
I suppose the real test is in the results. He claims a life of winning court cases, healing the sick, and having his needs met without struggle. If that's the holy life, it's certainly an attractive proposition, even if the judgment part feels a bit intense.
He ends his story by saying he shares these things not to show off, but to glorify God's power so others might desire it. He wants to wake people up. He believes we've forgotten who we are. 8 billion-year-old souls playing small in a temporary world.
It's a narrative that demands you look at your life as a series of energetic exchanges. Every word spoken on a chat app, every thought about an ex-spouse, every trip in a car, it all counts. It's a high-stakes way to live, but for Yahshao, it's the only way to be truly alive.
It makes me think about the movies he likes. In those films, the hero always has to learn to control their power. Maybe his 30 minutes of death was his training montage. He had to lose his human self to learn how to handle the frequency of the universe.
And now, he's out here, telling us we can do the same. Whether you believe in the God energy or just the power of positive intention, his story is a vivid reminder that there's often more going on beneath the surface of our daily lives than we realize.
It's about sovereignty, Dan, claiming your power back, not being a victim of circumstances, but being the one who sets the frequency that the circumstances must follow. That's a powerful shift in perspective.
I'm still going to be careful what I think about next time I'm around a water tower, though, just in case. But honestly, the idea of living a holy life as a means of spiritual health, there's something resonant in that, regardless of the supernatural claims.
As we wrap up this tale of Yahshao, maybe we should all take a moment to check our own vibrations. Are we acting out of love and holiness? Or are we inviting the kind of judgment that breaks down the car on the way home from fishing?
It's a call to mindfulness, really, to be a witness to your own energy. If Yahshao is right, the universe is always listening, always reacting, and always waiting for us to remember our own God energy.
A fascinating journey, Ariel. From a refugee camp in Thailand to a courtroom in the West, all powered by a 30-minute gap in a heartbeat. It's a story that definitely makes you look at the world a little differently.
Exactly. Whether it's entertainment or a divine roadmap, the story of Yahshao reminds us that the most incredible powers might not be on the movie screen, but inside the person sitting right next to us, or even inside ourselves.
Let's go back to that moment on the water tower for a second. Imagine the silence of those 30 minutes. Yahshao describes it as a complete loss of memory. It's as if the Yahshao that existed before had to be completely erased to make room for this 8 billion-year-old soul.
That's a terrifying thought, Eleanor, to have your entire identity wiped clean. But he talks about it with such peace. He says he started having flashbacks of different layers of life. It's almost like his brain became a radio receiver that could suddenly pick up stations from across the cosmos.
And those stations told him that he didn't need to fight. That's the recurring theme I find so interesting. He loves Bruce Lee and Spider-Man, but his God energy does the fighting for him. It's a passive power. He just exists, and the world adjusts around him.
It's the ultimate Wu Wei, the Taoist concept of non-action. By being perfectly aligned with his true nature, he doesn't need to exert effort. The court case is the perfect example. While the lawyers were shuffling papers and stressing over statutes, he was just vibrating at the frequency of the winner.
I still have a hard time with the frequency winning a legal battle. I mean, there are judges, there are laws, but he says the fortune teller told his ex-wife she would lose. Even the psychic saw it coming. It's like the outcome was written in the stars before he even stepped into the building.
And the fallout. The lawyers losing their businesses later. Yahshao seems to believe that when you oppose someone who is holy, you aren't just fighting a person. You're fighting the universe itself. And the universe has a very long memory.
He mentioned that the energy has no age. Even if the body is young, the soul is ancient. That 8 billion-year figure is staggering. If that's true, then our current lives are just a tiny, tiny fraction of our existence. Why would an 8 billion-year-old soul care about a child's support case?
Maybe it's not about the case itself, but about the integrity of the process. He says he shared the story to show the power of being holy. To him, the court case was just a classroom where he could demonstrate that spiritual alignment beats worldly strategy every time.
He also touches on something quite sensitive, the idea of forgiveness. He tells his friends that if they are carrying pain today, it might be because they gossiped about him or thought negatively of him. He tells them to just talk to themselves, ask for his name, and ask for forgiveness.
It sounds like he's offering a way to clear the debt. If his energy is automatically judging people, he's giving them a manual override. Hey, if you're suffering because you crossed my energy, here's how you fix it. It's a very direct form of spiritual reconciliation.
It's a lot of power for one person to claim, though. Ask for my name, and you'll be forgiven. Dan here is wondering about the ego involved in that. But Yahshao insists he doesn't judge anyone. He says the energy is the witness. He's just the guy standing there.
He uses the word witness so often. It's like he's watching a movie of his own life. Even when things go wrong, like his ex-wife filing a restraining order, he looks at it as earning an experience to see the power within him. He doesn't seem to get angry.
That's a key trait of what he calls a holy life. No desire for anything, no hunting, no fishing, just being. He says he stays home most of the time. It's almost like he's too hot for the world to handle, spiritually speaking, like a radioactive isotope of divinity.
And yet, he has friends who are pastors. They want to learn from him. Imagine being a trained theologian and going to this guy who says, "I died for 30 minutes and now my car breaks down if I go fishing." They must see something in him that defies their books.
He told one pastor that the reason he couldn't have children was that his soul wasn't holy enough to open the spiritual door. That's a heavy thing to say to a man of God. But then the pastor dies shortly after. Yahshao sees it as God saving him. It's such a radical shift from how we usually process death.
It's the idea that God would rather take you home than let you fall from your spiritual standing. It's a very protective, almost fierce kind of love. It's not the gentle Jesus image many are used to. It's a cosmic, structural necessity.
What about the Paltalk incident? He's in a chat room, someone insults his wife, and he just says, "The truth will be the witness." Then, cancer. 2 years later. It feels like he's describing a world where every word is a seed that grows into a harvest of either health or destruction.
He even applies this to his own family. He went out with his half-brother after 5 years of not visiting. They didn't catch any fish, and the car kept dying. He realized he was playing with the universe. Even his own desire for a bit of fun was out of sync with his holy nature.
It suggests that once you reach a certain level of God energy, you can't go back to being normal. You can't just hang out or kill time. Every action has to be intentional, or the physical world starts to protest. The car dying was a warning light for his soul.
So, is he a prisoner of his own power? He can't go fishing, he can't go to the store without potentially causing a business fire if someone thinks a bad thought. It sounds lonely, Eleanor. He says he has no desire for anything. Is that peace, or is it just a lack of human connection?
He would probably say it's the ultimate connection. He's connected to the universe, to the frequency. He calls everyone gods and kings. He wants us to join him in that state of untouchability. He's not trying to be the only superhero. He's trying to start a league.
He says, "Claim your power back." That's his final message. He believes we are all carrying this energy, but we've let it get bogged down by gossip, negativity, and unholy living. He's like a mirror showing us what we could be if we just cleared the static.
It's a compelling mirror, even if it's a bit scary. The idea that our thoughts have that much weight, it makes you want to be a lot more careful about what you think of your neighbor, or even your ex-wife's lawyer.
And that's the truth gift of God he's talking about. It's the realization that we are the creators of our own reality through our vibrations. It's a tale that starts with a fall from a tower and ends with a call to reach the heavens.
I think it's important to note how he views the God energy as a separate entity almost. He says, your God energy do all the fight for you. It's not his ego doing it, it's the energy he hosts. He's just the temple for it.
Right, and if the temple is holy, the energy stays. If the temple gets messy, the power fades or turns inward. It's a very ancient way of looking at the relationship between the physical and the divine. Very different from the modern God is a genie who grants wishes vibe.
It's more like God is a law of physics. If you follow the law, you fly. If you break it, you fall. Yahshao just happens to be a guy who fell, died, and came back with the rule book memorized.
And he's sharing that rule book with us. Even the part about the car needing to do holy things. It's a reminder that nothing is secular. Everything is spiritual. Everything is vibrating. And everything is being judged by the quality of that vibration.
I'm going to be thinking about this for a long time. The next time something goes wrong, a minor sickness or a tech glitch, I might just stop and ask, what's my frequency right now? It's a powerful tool for self-reflection, whether you believe in the supernatural part or not.
That's the beauty of these tales, isn't it? They push us to the edges of what we think is possible. Yahshao's life is a testament to the idea that there is a hidden world of power just waiting for us to be holy enough to access it.
It's about living with the God energy and feeling like God. That sounds like a heavy lift, but he makes it sound as natural as breathing. Maybe the only thing stopping us is our own doubt.
Or our own desire for unnecessary duties, like fishing. But seriously, Ariel, this has been an eye-opener. A man who died for 30 minutes and came back as a witness to the universe's secret mechanics. It's a story for the ages.
It really is. And as Yahshao says, he's here to awake everyone. We are all gods and kings. It's time to claim that power back. Thank you both for diving into this immersive journey with me today.
It was a pleasure. I'm going to go work on my vibrations now. I think I've got some 8 billion-year-old catching up to do.
And I'm going to go make sure my car is doing something holy, just to be safe. Thanks, Ariel. This was quite the ride.
Until next time, keep your vibrations pure and your hearts open to the extraordinary. You never know when a fall might just be the start of your real life.
Actually, Ariel, let's talk more about that 8 billion years thing. It's such a specific number. It's older than the Earth, which is about 4.5 billion years old. He's claiming to be older than the planet itself.
That would mean his soul has seen worlds come and go. It would explain why he feels so detached from things like sports or hunting. If you've been around for 8 billion years, a football game probably feels like a blink of an eye.
It gives a whole new meaning to his no desire statement. He's seen it all. He's had everything and lost everything across multiple timelines. What's left? Just the frequency. Just the God energy.
And he says he's just a witness. That's the most humble way to describe being an ancient cosmic being. I'm just here to watch the energy fix the world. It's like he's a spectator at a game he already knows the ending to.
But he's not just a spectator. He's a catalyst. People change when they meet him. They either get fixed or they face the judgment. It's like he's a walking spiritual audit. You can't hide your true self from a frequency that's been around since before the sun was born.
Think about the courage it takes to live that way. To know that your presence might cause a stroke in someone who hates you. He has to be incredibly disciplined with his own love. He says, "I love everyone," and he has to mean it. Or he'd be a weapon of mass destruction.
That's the holy life he talks about. It's a safety protocol. If he didn't live a holy life, that energy would probably consume him. He has to be pure to house a power that ancient.
It puts the superhero movies in a different light. In the movies, they use their fists. In Yahshao's world, you use your frequency. It's a much more subtle and in some ways much more terrifying kind of power.
But he insists it's for everyone. Claim your power back. He's not saying he's the only one who can do this. He's saying he's the one who remembered how. He's the one who woke up after the fall.
It makes me wonder how many other 8 billion-year-old souls are walking around, stuck in unnecessary duties, forgetting their own kingly nature. Maybe we all need a metaphorical fall from a water tower to wake up.
I'll stick to the meditation and the holy living, Yahshao, thanks. No water towers for me, but I see your point, Eleanor. The story is a wake-up call. It's a challenge to stop living small.
He says, imagine you can have anything you want. That's the promise. But the price is holiness. The price is total alignment. It's a high price, but the reward is being untouchable.
And that's where we'll leave it. A man named Yahshao, a 30-minute death, and a message of cosmic power. It's a lot to process, but it's a journey worth taking.
Definitely. I'm going to be looking at the frequency of my own life for a while. Thanks for the talk, everyone.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Elena. And thank you to Yahshao for sharing his truth. May we all find our way back to our own God energy.
Amen to that. Let's live holy, everyone.
And keep the car running on holy duties. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye. And remember, the truth is the witness.
Wait, before we go, I just thought of one more thing. Yahshao mentions that he doesn't need to fly like Superman. It's like he's transcended the need for the flashy parts of power. The real power is in the silence, in the being.
That's a good point. We always look for the big signs, the miracles, the flying men. But he's saying the real miracle is winning a court case without a lawyer, because your frequency is just that solid. It's the quiet supernatural.
It's the supernatural integrated into the everyday. A car breaking down, a business fire, a healing. It's not a separate world, it's this world, just viewed through a different lens. A lens that's 8 billion years old.
It's a beautiful, if intense, way to live. And I think that's the truth gift he wanted to share. That we are part of something much bigger and much more powerful than we ever dared to imagine.
Well said, Eleanor. I think we've truly covered the depth of this today. It's been an incredible discussion.
It really has. Thank you all for listening to this narrative of power, holiness, and the ancient soul. Take care of your energy.